Good morning, one and all. I'm Dr. P. Davya, Assistant Professor of Physics, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute Phase 2 campus. Today we are going to see field effect transistor. Field effect transistor is shortly named as an FET. Field effect transistor is a key electronic component using in many areas of electronics industries. FET used in many circuits constructed from electronic components in the areas from RF technology to power control and electronic switching to general amplification. It is based around the concept that charge on a nearby object can attract charges within a semiconductor channel. It is essentially operating using an electric field effect. Hence, it is named as an field effect transistor. It consists of electrodes at either end, referred to as an drain and source. A controlled electrode called the gate is placed very close to the channel so that its electric charge able to affect the channel. In this way, the gate of FET controls the flow of carriers. The flow of carriers means either it may be a positive charge or it may be a negative charge flowing from source to drain. The current flows through a semiconductor can occur by two types. One is P type channel and another one is N type. In addition to this, there are two further categories increasing the voltage on the gate that can be either depletion or enhancement. The number of charge carriers available in the channel. As a result, there are enhancement mode FET and depletion mode FET. It is only electric field that controls the current flowing in the channel. The device is said to be voltage operator and it has an high input impedance. Usually it will be in mega ohms. This can be a distinct advantage over bipolar junction transistor. A bipolar junction transistor, it is a current operator and it has a low input impedance. FET is a three-terminal device which provides a voltage gain. So that it is having the high input impedance, the electric field of input terminal called gate modifies the current flowing in what is called as a channel between the terminal source and drain. This is the schematic diagram of N channel JFET and P channel JFET. If you see this diagram in the N channel JFET, the arrow mark which is pointing towards the gate is known as N channel JFET. Similarly, in the P channel JFET, the arrow mark is coming outside of the gate, so it is an P channel JFET. Already I have said JFET is a three-terminal device. The three-terminal devices are drain, source and gate. Now let us see one by one what is meant by source, drain and gate. Terminals of FET. Source. It is an electrode through which the majority carriers can enter the channel. Source is a carrier of device. So the current entering through the channel through the source only and it has been designated as IS. Similarly, drain, it is an electrode through which the charge carriers can leave the channel and it can be designated by the symbol ID, where here the current leaving the channel through the drain. Also, drain to source voltage is indicated as I voltage as VDS. Gate is a terminal that controls the channel conductivity. So, the gate is an input terminal. It is responsible for the conduction process. Hence, the level of voltage on the gate controls the current flowing in the input of the device. Now, let us see the type of FETs. FET can be classified into two types. One is junction and another one is insulated gate. Junction can be classified into one single type. One is depletion junction. The insulated gate is also known by the name MOSFET, that is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. This insulated gate can be classified into two types. One is depletion and another one is enhancement mode. This depletion junction field effect transistor can be classified into two types. One is P channel and another one is N channel. Depletion in MOSFET can be classified into two types, P channel and N channel. Enhancement mode can be classified into two types, P channel and N channel. Now let us see the construction part of both N channel and the P channel. In the figure, you can able to see the N channel JFET, a small bar of extrinsic material. That is, here we are taking a semiconductor material. The N type is taken and at the two ends, the two ohmic contacts are made, which is a drain and the source terminal of FET. Heavily doped electrodes of p-type material form p-n junction on each side of the bar. The thin region between the two p gates is called as a channel, since this channel is responsible for the conduction process. So you can able to see here the channel, that is the n channel JFET and the p channel JFET. So the electrons enter through the channel through the terminal called source terminal and leave through the terminal called as a drain terminal. The terminals are taken out from heavily doped electronics of p-type material are called as gates. These electrodes are connected together and only one terminal is taken out, and that terminal is named as a gate as shown in the figure. P channel. The device could be made up of a p-type bar with two n-type gates as shown in the figure. This p-channel JFET is the same principle working on the n-channel JFET or similar. The only difference between the n-channel JFET and the p-channel JFET is that the carriers. In the n-channel JFET, the majority carriers are electrons, and in the p-channel JFET, the majority charge carriers by holes. Principle. Now let us see in what principle the FET is working on. The FET is working under the principle that the two p-n junctions at the sides form a depletion layer. The current conduction by the charge carriers is through the channel between the two depletion layers and out of the drain. The width and hence the resistance of this channel can be controlled by changing the input voltage VGS. So if we giving an input voltage smaller means the current conduction will be little. Then if you increases the voltage, the current conduction will be changing. Automatically the width of the depletion layer gets on changes. The narrower the channel means greater resistance, and hence source to drain current decreases, and the reverse will happen when VGS decreases. The JFET operates on the principle that width and hence the resistance of the conducting channel can be varied by changing the reverse voltage VGS. Now let us see the working of JFET. One best example we can known to understand the concept of the JFET is, we want to imagine that a garden hose pipe. Suppose a garden hose pipe is providing a water flow through it. If we squeeze the hose, the water flow will be very less. And at a certain point, if we squeeze it completely, there will be a zero water flow. JFET works exactly in that way. If we interchange the hose with the JFET and the water flow with the current and then construct the current carrying channel, we could control the current flow. In JFET, the PN junction between the gate and source is always kept in a reverse biased condition. Since the current in the reverse biased PN junction is extremely small, we all already know that. The gate current in the JFET is often neglected and it is assumed to be zero. Now let us consider the circuit in the figure where the voltage is applied between the drain and the source. Gate terminal is kept open so that the bar is of an N-type material. Due to the polarities of applied voltage, the majority carriers, that is the electrons, start flowing from source to drain so that the flow of electrons can make the drain current ID. So if you can notice in the figure, you can able to see the gate have been opened. So if we passes the voltage to the particular gate, means what it will happen, the current conduction will be taking place in this lower way. The majority carriers move from source to drain through the space between the gate regions. The space is commonly known as channel. The width of this channel can be controlled by varying the gate voltage. To see the effect of gate voltage on the channel width and on the drain current ID, consider the diagram below. If you see this diagram A, there is no bias voltage on the gate. The gate have been, the schematic diagram, it is showing that there is no bias. They have not given any voltage to that particular material. Now if you seeing to the next channel, that is the next diagram B, you can able to see there they have applied a voltage, that is they have given a gate source voltage, little amount of biasing they have been given. So if we have giving a little bias, what it will happen, through the source the majority charge carriers starting to flow from source to drain. If the majority charge carriers, electrons have been started to move from source to drain, automatically the drain current have been produced in that region. The drain current, it will be very small because we have given the bias in small way only. So the small amount of biasing only we have given to that particular material. Automatically the width of the depletion layer also getting changes little bit. You can able to notice in that. Coming on to the next figure, see large negative source bias. Now here we are supplying the voltage little bit higher compared to the before stage. Here we are passing a large amount of a negative bias. Automatically the flow of electrons will start to occur. Automatically the current will also will be very high, so that the width of the depletion layer is get on increases. If the width of the depletion layer is getting changes, it will become very closer together, so that after that what it will happen is the electrons can't able to move from source to drain. So the current conduction will be little bit lower compared to that. Applications used in mixer circuits to control low intermodulation, used in low frequency amplifier due to its small coupling capacitor. It is used in operational amplifier as voltage variable resistor, used as an input amplifiers in devices like voltmeters, oscilloscope and other measuring devices. Thank you.